Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. How have more relaxed domestic restrictions impacted the Swedish economy? Analysis. http ntvforex.com News ID 27AAFE93 2023 p.m. Executive Summary. When COVID-19 struck, the Swedish government elected not to pursue some of the most stringent lockdown measures adopted in many other Western nations. While there were some restrictions on activity, such as bans on large public gatherings, full-scale lockdowns that closed schools, businesses, and severely limited mobility were generally avoided. Did this more relaxed approach lead the Swedish economy to significantly outperform relative to its peers? Although there is some evidence of modest outperformance on a relative basis, it is far from overwhelming, and on an absolute basis the Swedish economy still had a terrible first half of 2020. Real GDP growth in Sweden was only down 7.7% year-over-year in Q2 2020, and even with substantial policy stimulus we still expect the economy to contract 4.5% in 2020. And while new cases and deaths from COVID-19 are relatively low in Sweden at present, the cumulative, population-adjusted death toll from COVID-19 is much higher in Sweden than it is in other Nordic countries, such as Denmark or Norway. Sweden's economy still weak despite less stringent limitations. The Swedish public health and economic experience with COVID-19 has been somewhat different than that of many of its Western peers. As COVID-19 cases climbed in March and April, Swedish officials eschewed the more draconian lockdown measures adopted in much of Europe. While there were some restrictions on activity in Sweden, full-scale lockdowns that closed schools, businesses, and severely limited mobility were generally avoided. New daily cases per million in Sweden leveled off in April and May and then rose further in June. Figure 1, in contrast to the steady declines seen across Europe through late spring and early summer. Download full article. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://m.me mt5.expert.advisors.